what if the same coast that once shipped millions into slavery is now leading a cultural revolution? This is Ghana, where the sound of drums never stopped and the fight for identity never faded. You've heard of the Gold Coast, but what you haven't heard is the real story. From the castles of Elmina to the streets of Accra, every corner tells a story of resistance, rhythm, and rebirth. But Ghana's past isn't just preserved, it's powering its future. The first sub-Saharan colony to win independence in 1957, and today a fast-growing hub for art, tech, and trade. Ancient kingdoms still stand, and a new generation is redefining what African modernity looks like. Stay with us, because this journey will change how you see Africa. The Coast of Memory. To understand how Ghana got here, we have to start on the edge of the sea, at a fortress built for gold, and for something far darker. It all begins where the ocean meets the past. Ghana's southern edge stretches for over 500 kilometers along the Gulf of Guinea, a coastline once glittering with gold, ivory, and promise. But beneath that shimmer lies one of humanity's darkest chapters. In the 15th century, Portuguese explorers anchored off the shores of Elmina. They built the Elmina Castle in 1482, the first European structure in sub-Saharan Africa. Whitewashed walls, arched courtyards, and a view of endless blue. A postcard of paradise, hiding a portal to pain. The dungeons below still smell of iron and damp stone. Chains once clinked where now only tourists whisper. Tens of thousands of men and women were held here, traded for gold, guns, and cloth. Their cries vanished into the surf, but the sea remembers. And yet, even here, Ghana turned tragedy into testimony.
This is a dead cell. No food, no water until you die. There wasn't any light.
Today, the castles of Elmina, Cape Coast, and Fort Amsterdam are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. They stand not as ruins, but as classrooms of the soul. Every guide who walks you through these corridors speaks with reverence, not bitterness. Because Ghanaians know that remembering is a form of resistance. Outside the fortress walls, life bursts back into color. Fishing boats painted red, yellow, and green push out from the sand. Children chase waves with laughter that fills the wind. Markets hum with the scent of smoked tilapia, palm oil, and ripe mango. This is Ghana's alchemy, turning grief into grace. Further west lies Takoradi, Ghana's oil city, where offshore rigs gleam on the horizon. It's a symbol of how the same coastline once drained by exploitation now fuels new prosperity. Cargo ships line the port, carrying cocoa, bauxite, and timber, the raw veins of Ghana's modern economy. But beyond industry lies heritage that refuses to fade. In Ankobra and Busue, local fishermen still sing ancient Fante songs as they pull their nets. Each verse is part prayer, part navigation, part history lesson. And when the sun sets, the horizon burns gold, as if the land is reclaiming its name. From coast to capital, Ghana's heartbeat grows louder. The journey inland begins on the road to Accra, a city where history and ambition collide. Glass towers rise beside colonial bungalows. Street vendors weave between taxis, and the scent of roasted plantain mixes with sea salt. Accra isn't polished. It's alive. Every corner vibrates with rhythm, trade, and talk. And at its heart stands a monument not of conquest, but of liberation. Black Star Square. That's where we're headed next. To the square that turned a colony into a nation, and a people into a symbol of African pride. The City of Independence. Accra isn't a city you observe. It's one you feel. From sunrise to sundown, it vibrates with energy. The chatter of trotro drivers, the crackle of frying oil, the bass lines of Afrobeats leaking from passing cars. It's loud, fast, unapologetic, and deeply symbolic. Because this is where Ghana's freedom first found its voice. In 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah declared independence from British rule, he did it right here, at Black Star Square, under a sky filled with fireworks and hope. The square still stands today, vast and open, framed by the Independence Arch and the Black Star Gate. It's not just a landmark. It's a living reminder that Ghana was the first sub-Saharan African nation to break free from colonial rule. Every year on March 6th, crowds fill this square, waving flags, singing anthems, marching with pride. The air smells of roasted maize and kerosene from parade torches. Children wear miniature uniforms, their faces painted red, gold, and green. For them, independence isn't a story, it's an inheritance. But Accra doesn't live in the past. It builds on it. Drive a few minutes north, and you're in Osu, a neighborhood that feels like a microcosm of modern Ghana. Cafes buzz with artists and entrepreneurs. Murals bloom across crumbling walls. In one corner, the scent of jollof rice drifts from a street stall. In another, tech startups test apps built for the next generation of African users. East Legon hums with that same spirit. Sleek offices, fashion boutiques, and rooftop lounges that could rival any global city. Yet, amid the new skyline, you'll still find street vendors balancing trays of peanuts and sachets of water on their heads. It's a city of contrasts, not contradictions. Because in Accra, tradition isn't erased by progress. It's layered into it. And the deeper you look, the more stories you find beneath the surface. Visit Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, where the marble mausoleum houses the man who dreamed of a united Africa. The fountains whisper beside bronze statues of Nkrumah, raising his hand to the future. He once said, "We face neither east nor west. We face forward." And Ghana still does. From Accra's beaches, Labadi, Kokrabite, Bojo, to its bustling markets like Makola and Kaneshi, the rhythm of life here feels unstoppable. You hear the history, the hustle, the humor, all at once. Accra teaches a simple truth. Freedom is not a finished line. It's something you build, brick by brick, beat by beat. And that rhythm doesn't stop at the capital's edge. Beyond the city, Ghana opens into ancient lands. to royal stools and sacred forests, to kings crowned not by power, but by lineage and duty. Our next stop, Kumasi, the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom, where gold still glitters and pride runs deep. The Ashanti legacy. If Accra is Ghana's heartbeat, then Kumasi is its soul. Here, every drumbeat echoes centuries of power, artistry, and resilience. This is the land of kings, the Ashanti Kingdom, one of the most enduring monarchies in Africa. Founded in the late 1600s, the Ashanti Empire grew under Ose Tutu and his priest Okomfo Anokye, who, legend says, called down a golden stool from the heavens. That stool, the Sika Dwa Kofi, didn't seat a king. It held the spirit of the nation itself. To this day, no one sits on it. It rests under guard in Kumasi, shining as the ultimate symbol of unity and pride. Walk through Manhaya Palace, and you'll feel history watching you. The current king, Otumfuo Ose Tutu II, still rules, not through conquest, but through culture. Ceremonies unfold with a choreography unchanged for centuries. Talking drums speak royal messages. Gold-laced umbrellas shimmer in the sun. Chiefs arrive in kente, woven so fine it glows. Gold isn't just a metal here, it's meaning. Every Ashanti ornament tells a story. You'll see weights shaped like crocodiles and eagles, used once to measure gold dust in the markets. Artisans in Antonso still craft adinkra symbols, stamped cloths, bearing proverbs about life, wisdom, and destiny. Each symbol is a philosophy in miniature. Gaya Nyame, except for God. Sankofa, return and get it. A reminder that looking back is sometimes the only way forward. The air in Kumasi hums with this heritage. Markets like Kajetia, one of West Africa's largest, sprawl like a living maze. Over 11,000 stalls sell everything from kente threads to mobile phones. The scent shifts every few steps. Smoked fish, shea butter, hot charcoal. It's chaos, but it's choreography. Everyone knows where they belong in the dance. But Kumasi isn't trapped in tradition. It thrives on reinvention. Local designers are weaving ancient motifs into streetwear. Artists like Kabi Bensi Enchil and Kwabena Danso reimagine royal symbols through modern eyes. It's a fusion of past and present that defines Ghana's creative identity. And yet, amid the buzz of progress, there's reverence. In the royal courtyard, drums still call out news before dawn. Each beat carries memory of wars fought, treaties made, and generations born. The Ashanti say, the forest may burn, but the roots still live. That's Kumasi, rooted in gold, growing through time. But Ghana's story doesn't end with kings and crowns. Further north lies another kind of majesty, one shaped not by gold, but by nature. Savannah plains, ancient mosques, and elephants that walk through mist. The land of mole, larabanga, and legends written in dust. That's where we go next, into northern Ghana, where silence speaks and the wild still rules. The wild and the sacred. Leave behind the crowded streets of Kumasi, and the air begins to change. The humidity thins. The roads stretch wide. And soon, Ghana opens into something vast. the savannah of the north. Here, the landscape tells stories older than kingdoms. Red earth, thorn trees, and wide skies stretch endlessly toward the horizon. This is northern Ghana, raw, quiet, powerful. It's a region that holds both spiritual weight and ecological wonder. Our first stop is Larabanga, often called the Mecca of West Africa. Its mud and stick mosque, built in the 1400s, is Ghana's oldest Islamic structure. Whitewashed walls curve like waves, and the wooden stakes jutting from its sides serve as both decoration and scaffolding. When the call to prayer rises, it blends with birdsong and the rustle of the wind, faith, nature, and time in perfect harmony. But the north holds another kind of temple, one carved by nature itself. Just beyond Larabanga lies Mole National Park, Ghana's largest wildlife reserve. Over 4,800 square kilometers of grassland, rivers, and wilderness. It's home to elephants, antelopes, baboons, and leopards, all moving freely across the land. If you're lucky, you'll spot a herd of elephants bathing in a pond at dawn, the water glowing gold under the first light. There are no fences here, just coexistence. The guides, often locals from surrounding villages, read the land like a book. They point out prints in the dust, the direction of wind, the call of a distant hornbill. Their knowledge isn't from textbooks. It's inherited, lived, sung. And north of Mole, another story rises, one built from mud and spirit. In the Upper East region, the villages of Sirigu and Tongo showcase a different Ghana, where art is architecture. The houses are painted in red, white, and black geometric designs, passed down through generations of women artists. Each wall is a canvas of family symbols, a visual diary of births, harvests, and prayers. In Tongo Hills, the rocks form natural shrines, believed to house ancestral spirits. Every sound, from wind to drum, is treated as sacred communication.
Whoa, we out here, man!
This is where Ghana feels ancient and alive at once. Evening falls, and the northern horizon burns with amber light. Children run through fields chasing shadows. Women return from the wells with silver bowls balanced on their heads. And somewhere in the distance, a drumbeat begins, faint, steady, familiar. It's the same rhythm heard in Accra, in Kumasi, on the coast. Because no matter how far you travel in Ghana, that pulse never changes. It's the rhythm of resilience, echoing from forest to savannah, from past to future. But now, the story turns homeward, to the coast once more, where Ghana's new generation is building something the world can't ignore, a creative and cultural renaissance rising from the heart of West Africa. The new gold, Ghana's creative renaissance. Return to the coast, and you'll hear a different rhythm now, not from drums or waves, but from speakers, studios, and street corners. This is the new Gold Coast, where creativity has become the country's greatest export. Because Ghana's real treasure today isn't mined, it's made. In Accra's Jamestown, graffiti spills across colonial walls, bright and defiant. Artists like Mo Awudu and Bright Aquer turned politics into murals, using color as protest. You'll find sculptors working beside fishermen, dancers rehearsing next to food stalls. Here, art doesn't live in galleries. It lives in the streets. Walk a few blocks and you'll hear another kind of energy. Music. Afro beats, high life, hip life. Ghana's soundscape is a fusion of tradition and innovation. Names like Sarkodie, Stoneboy, and Amarai carry Ghana's voice to the world, blending Twi lyrics with global beats. At night, rooftop bars light up the skyline, laughter, rhythm, and ocean breeze all mixing into one pulse. But this wave of creativity isn't just entertainment. It's identity reborn. Across the city, young designers are redefining what Made in Ghana means. At Nubuka Foundation and Ano Gallery, exhibitions showcase art that challenges the old narrative, not Africa as poverty, but Africa as power, imagination, and design. Fashion houses like Christie Brown and Studio 189 turn kente and batik into international statements of pride. Their fabrics tell stories of family, faith, and fierce individuality. Even technology follows the same current. In East Legon, Tema, and Kumasi Hive, startups are using digital tools to connect farmers, preserve languages, and archive oral histories. What began as a gold rush has evolved into a mind rush. And through it all, Ghana still knows how to celebrate. Every December, the world comes to Accra for Deti December, a festival season that's become Africa's version of Carnival meets Coachella. From Afrochella to street parades in Osu, the air fills with sound, light, and joy. It's more than tourism, it's a homecoming. A reconnection of the diaspora to their roots, to the warmth that never left. Because that's the essence of Ghana, hospitality. Whether you're from across the border or across the ocean, someone will greet you with a smile and the word Akwaba. Welcome. It's not just a phrase, it's a philosophy. And as Ghana looks toward its next chapter, the promise is clear. The same coast that once shipped gold and sorrow now exports creativity, culture, and confidence. Its people are turning pain into pride, memory into movement, and history into hope. But before we close this journey, there's one more truth to uncover. The thread that ties it all together, the spirit that endures through every wave and every generation. That's where we end, in Ghana's heartbeat itself. The heartbeat of Ghana. If you strip away the gold, the monuments, the markets, what's left? People. That's Ghana's greatest monument. Because every smile, every rhythm, every welcome is its own story of survival and grace. Travel through any Ghanaian village and you'll see it. The daily choreography of life, unfolding with quiet dignity. Children in bright uniforms walking dusty roads to school. Women pounding fufu in rhythm, laughter cutting through the afternoon heat. Old men sitting under neem trees, debating politics, sipping palm wine. Each gesture carries memory, a reminder that progress here was built not just through independence, but through interdependence. Ghanaians call it Ubuntu in spirit, though the word is Southern African. I am because we are. It's the thread that holds this nation together, and you can feel it strongest where community and faith meet. In Cape Coast, Sunday mornings start with choirs that spill into the streets. In Tamale, the muezzin's call drifts over the roofs as dawn breaks. In the Volta region, the drums begin before sunrise, echoing across the hills. Every sound is a prayer. Every gathering a testament to unity in diversity. The nation has over 70 ethnic groups and over 80 languages, yet somehow it moves as one, through music, respect, and a shared sense of pride. And that pride shows not just in words, but in how Ghanaians live. Education here is sacred. The University of Ghana, founded in 1948, stands as a beacon for West African scholarship. Villages pool resources to send their brightest students to Accra. Innovation programs like One District, One Factory, and Free SHS are reshaping the idea of opportunity. Even abroad, the Ghanaian diaspora remains deeply connected. Whether it's London, Toronto, or New York, you'll find communities wearing kente, hosting Independence Day dinners, and still sending remittances back home, nearly $4.5 billion annually. That flow of care keeps the national heartbeat steady, no matter how far it travels. But perhaps Ghana's real miracle is emotional, not economic. Despite the hardships, inflation, droughts, global shifts, there's a calm defiance here, a refusal to lose optimism. Because Ghanaians know something the world often forgets. Calling hope is a resource too. Evening falls again on the coast. Children chase footballs through the sand. The ocean hums beneath the same sun that watched empires rise and fall. Somewhere, a fisherman hums an old Fante song, half prayer, half promise. The cycle continues. The coast endures. The gold still shines, just in a different form. And that brings us full circle, back to the beginning, back to the name that never stopped meaning more than wealth. Because Ghana's story isn't about what was taken, it's about what could never be taken away. So, where does all this leave Ghana? It's a country that refuses to be simplified. Neither a postcard paradise nor a struggling frontier. It's both. A place that's still rebuilding, still dreaming, and still teaching the world what it means to rise again. From the cocoa fields to the gold mines, from the surf towns to the tech hubs of Accra, Ghana is rewriting its own story, not as the Gold Coast of the past, but as a nation of hope, creativity, and quiet power. The rhythms of the drum, the warmth of a smile, the courage of independence, they all beat in time here. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it. A country that knows exactly where it came from and isn't afraid of where it's going next. Because this isn't just a place of history, it's a place of becoming. This is Ghana, the Gold Coast of history and hope.